Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Well, I had done a video about Queen Elizabeth and her favorite things, and food came into the subject matter, and I had a viewer that wanted to know more about the subject. So today we're going to explore the taste buds of the royals and see what they like regarding food. First up, Prince Charles. Former royal chef Darren McGrady shared anecdotes about Charles's eating habits in his cookbook from 2007 entitled Eating Royally. McGrady worked for Queen Elizabeth for 11 years before joining Princess Diana's staff. The first thing mentioned is that Charles wanted his chefs to collect wild mushrooms that grew around Balmoral Castle. The then Prince Charles would fish for salmon, sometimes with the Queen Mother, and whatever he caught, he had the chefs cook up for a meal. He loved to fish so much that he taught William and Harry how to fish too. I know how that goes because my dad taught me how to fish, and I bet William and Harry will never forget those days they spent fishing with their dad, because I won't forget the time that I had with my dad. But none of the chefs were allowed to touch the fish that he had caught until instructions were sent from upstairs. Usually it would be grilled, poached, or broiled with garnish and served with silver in the dining room. Well, Prince Charles also loves Italian food, and when Charles and Diana were married and had William and Harry, they would eat Italian food frequently. McGrady said regarding Charles, whether it was wild mushroom risotto or polenta dishes, it's sort of healthy eating, and that's what Italian food is, simple, elegant food. McGrady also noted that when Prince Charles, Princess Diana, William, and Harry were all eating together, often Italian food was on the menu, he told Delish, and then Princess Diana loved it too because it was simple and clean and included lots of nice salads. And McGrady, the chef, also said that William and Harry were big fans of Italian pizza. Well, the prince never had the same thing on any given day, McGrady said. He would normally start the day with some fruit for breakfast, often some plums from the garden that had been lightly poached, a little juice and some muesli to go with it, McGrady said. McGrady also said that Charles would eat hard-boiled eggs and toast during his afternoon tea, and he likes cheesy baked eggs, and another one of his favorite meals is seared lamb with wild mushroom risotto. The only thing is the mushrooms must come from the castle grounds, and so must the lamb. Queen Elizabeth, this information came from thedailymeal.com. According to People, she had a strict pattern of eating. The late queen would eat many of the same foods every day. She also had a few rules incorporated into her meal plan. She wouldn't eat starches such as pasta, rice, or potatoes for dinner. Wow, I could never go without the starches, though I probably should. Additionally, she wouldn't eat shellfish or foie gras when dining out, and this is a rule for the entire family to avoid food poisoning via Maria Claire. But when it comes to tea time, the queen could never skip one of her favorite dishes, jam penny sandwiches. Well, jam penny sandwiches are small snacks, so named for their size. The sandwiches are said to mimic the dimensions of the Old English penny, and bread, butter, and jam are all that's required to make them. Queen Elizabeth would faithfully eat a jam penny sandwich every day, according to her private chef of about 15 years, Darren McGrady. To eat something so much, you have to like it, and we think it's safe to say the Queen loved eating jam penny sandwiches. People.com stated that Queen Elizabeth also loved the American classic hamburgers. Former royal chef Darren McGrady said that the monarch preferred hers without buns, eaten with a knife and fork and served with cranberries rather than ketchup. It was resulted in a food hub creating a Mam burger in her honor. And according to Romper.com, Darren McGrady, former chef at Buckingham Palace, told the British Heritage website that Queen Elizabeth had one particular dessert she'd ask for again and again, a chocolate biscuit cake. Now, the chocolate biscuit cake was the only cake that went back out again and again every day until it was gone, he told the outlet. Next we have Prince Philip. He loved salmon, and his favorite meal was salmon kulibiak. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's a Russian dish, and it's a type of pierogi, a category of Russian cuisine that refers to stuffed pies. And this fish-filled pierogi is usually prepared with either salmon or sturgeon, along with buckwheat or rice. Other filling ingredients commonly include dill, hard-boiled eggs, and mushrooms. All of that gets wrapped in a package of puff pastry, which becomes buttery and flaky when baked. Finally, the whole thing is shaped into a loaf. and this somewhat elaborate Russian recipe certainly seems fitting as a princess favorite. This sounds like a pretty good meal. Now we have Camilla Parker Bowles. Camilla isn't fussy regarding her meals and in fact prefers a British classic, baked beans on toast. The queen consort isn't as picky as her husband, who prefers organic food fresh from the farm or wild. However, she has one specific request. Parker Bowles says that the baked beans used must be from a can and must always have a Heinz brand. So this information came from thedailymeal.com. People.com stated that Camilla spent hours in her garden eating raw peas. I tell you what I really like, she had said, eating peas straight from the garden. And she told that to a bunch of school children during a 2013 visit, according to the Mirror. If you take them straight from their pods, they're delicious, really sweet. I take all my grandchildren into the garden and they spend hours and hours eating peas. Now we have Prince William and Kate. He and wife Kate love to eat healthy, and he loves to have sushi. Kate has daily smoothies, and she tends to stick to a mostly vegetarian diet. And one of her favorite meals is a spicy Indian-style curry, a dish she particularly craved when she was pregnant. And she also has a fondness for watermelon salad, ceviche, and sushi. People.com stated that Prince William loves Swiss cheese, and he loves the rare brand that's called Kaltbach. And Romper.com stated that Prince William loves a bit of spice to his food and really favors a chicken tikka masala as a curry of his choice. Chicken masala, love that, a bit of flavor. I'm not a Vindaloo man, put it that way, NDTV Food reported he once said. Prince William took after his grandmother in that he also loved Queen Elizabeth's chocolate biscuit cake. He loved it so much he requested it for his wedding cake when he married Kate Middleton in 2011. Now, their son, Prince George, he loves spaghetti carbonara. According to thedailymeal.com, it is a classic Italian dish. It's considered one of the 4 Roman pasta dishes, each with its iconic reputation in Italian cuisine. The only ingredients required are pork belly, eggs, cheese, and spaghetti, plus some olive oil and black pepper for added flavor. During the coronavirus lockdown, Kate began making fresh pasta, which made the dish all the better. And Princess Charlotte, she liked pasta too, but she likes the cheesy pasta like macaroni and cheese, and she also loves olives. Prince Harry and Meghan, they love roast chicken. Royal chef Darren McGrady said that both Prince Harry and his brother William, they love to eat a meal of roasted chicken served with a side of macaroni and cheese. Well, Meghan, she cooks roasted chicken for both Harry and her and using Ina Garten's recipe. But since moving out to California, they've been spotted at a drive-thru ordering burgers and shakes at the In-N-Out. And Prince Harry, he also loves bananas. Princess Anne, she likes deviled pheasant. It's a traditional English meal centered around the game bird. And thedailymeal.com states, to make it, you begin by cooking 2 such game birds with ingredients such as garlic, even though eating this is forbidden by certain members of the royal family, onions, and carrots. After cooking, the bones are removed, leaving the meat to sit in the previously made stew. Then stiff whipped cream, mango chutney, preferably the brand Sharwood's green label, and Worcestershire sauce must be gathered and mixed. Eventually, you'll drain the meat, combine it with the whipped cream mixture, and bake the whole thing again. The result is something of which Princess Anne can't get enough. Princess Diana, she likes stuffed peppers, and the chef for the royals said to make it, they used mushrooms, zucchini, and rice, and were placed inside a bell pepper. Then the whole thing was topped with cheeses like mozzarella and parmesan. Finally, a tomato sauce would be added for extra flavor. The whole thing would then be cooked to perfection. According to Chef McGrady, Princess Diana must have loved this meal because she requested it multiple times per week. She also ate a healthy share of vegetables, and she loved egg Suzette, which is essentially eggs Benedict served inside a baked potato. Well, that sounds pretty interesting. Well, Prince Archie, Prince Harry said that he loves waffles, so much so that at one point Queen Elizabeth had sent him a waffle maker for Christmas. So that's the gift that keeps on giving, and that was in Romper.com. Prince Louis, Kate Middleton said his favorite food is beetroot. So that's an interesting choice, especially for a young kid. And last but not least, the Queen's dogs. People.com said that the monarch's beloved dogs had a diet that included cabbage, lamb's liver, and long grain rice. And that was according to the former royal chef, Graham Newbold. So it's interesting to see what people like to eat, especially when the people of the royal family, and it seems like they have healthy tastes in food. And due to the longevity of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, people were curious as to what they ate that had them live such long lives. So it looks like they all have good taste in food, and I sure hope everybody enjoyed the video. And if you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, it would be helpful to the channel. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, if you could do that, that would be good. And I'd like to thank all of you that have subscribed. I really do appreciate it. And if you hit the subscribe bell, you'll be notified whenever a new video is made. So I hope everybody's been having a good day today. And tune in again soon for another episode of Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Thank you. Bye.